it continually surprises, as Tim Atkins observed. I think that's because it's coming from places that we haven't seen, or we haven't heard, or haven't felt, and it's telling us to keep an eye open and listen and feel. And in some way it brushes the language up the wrong way, which I think is exactly what a real fight would do. So thank you for the book, and again, apologies if we have to end early, and thank you everyone for your patience in following us to this other room and putting up with the delay. Okay, do you want to just go on until the guy comes to shut us up?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't go on too long. I suppose I have a lot of thank yous. A lot of gratitude to a lot of people. First, everyone for coming tonight. It's really kind. Really lovely to see your friends. Well wishes. And a huge thank you to all the people who have read tonight. It's been such a privilege to be alongside Lynn and Cassia and Michael and Tim and Patrick, so that's lovely. And to Veer for publishing the book. It's a collective, and I feel very proud to be in the lineage of the great kind of innovative poets that they support. I don't quite feel worthy, I feel rather too young, but hopefully I'll grow into the prominence that they're giving me. So the book is actually constructed of 15 9-poem cycles, and each cycle is dedicated to the life or the career of a boxer, and I've just tried to use any methodology, found text, visual poems, sound poems, to embody that boxer in their life however I felt appropriate. But it does mean a lot of the poetry doesn't translate to performance. So with the time running down, and also that in mind, I'm just going to read one cycle, all 9 parts of that cycle. It's cycle 10, called Jack Dempsey, based around the very famous, vicious American heavyweight champion. If you're feeling generous, by the way, please see Will to buy the book. That would be really nice. So this is a poem in 9 parts on the boxer Jack Dempsey. Part 1. I will have a boxer's funeral without ever having been a boxer. Oh, Jack Dempsey, having sex while needing to go to the toilet, how I admire you. It's as if it all needs to come out anyhow, no thought for consequence or redolence, just wounding all round, every round. International press with photographs, fighting in the main, wrestling Polynesian harems to the floor to aid with childcare issues and the occasional speech. Dempsey, continuous in his youth, his black eyes, his filth-glove inseam sweat, his wounded sveck, rude health and tobacco spit, his oil pomade wife beating, a rumble, nimble bouquet of broken fingers, a man-made warhorse war wound, falling horse Jack, and a hoofing 20s fame, roses, carnations, riddle, and windswept. I kneel before history, a retreat to the punched county, the nation, the country of concussion, distilling a shine, black, a row as a root, a collected langing, a longal, mongrel dog spot, his America, always ready for a fight, a butt, gouge, thumb, slice, all elbows, a third fist, the stench up close of cologne and bourbon and blood, dried and wet blood, blood of the 20s running without complaint with a form of pleasant meander, his intimate river rafting cruise, his gloved thumb raking a short shrift of resistance, a relentlessness many find sexually exciting, crucifying monkeys in apology effigies, Dempsey on the inside closing your eye like a priest after death, Dempsey holding tiny tapered waists weight, a Sarakatsani wedding reception, a people's summering chain on the mountain breathing sawdust in the winter, asbestos training camp, the least of our worries, cloth as heavy as legionary armour, wet wool, heavy as white and hematoma, pop-tar, oat gruel breakfasts, orange-juiced eggs, and a fuck-off massive steak. O man of training, O man in training, the silver-decorated dagger, the fluffing stuffed from within the glove, the symbol of man's honour and wealth, nothing next to Jack's lad, flopping about the place, finding its way into all comers and fists, the gunpowder horn, the flesh flag and knuckle, the ram and scripture, the anti-personnel device, the double, double, treble, triple, the gaudy birthday suit, red symbolising loss, a mustard waistcoat and a pocket watch, and envy, ready to fight. Part 2. She has changed my understanding of how I could care for another human being while meddling with freezing water in Krasnoyarsk while Madam and Sir are chatting as tough as children. And there was this you had to annoy. Steve Monk, where is my fucking brown sauce? The bin man chasing the owl man while Catherine squeezes one out on Pat Burns' teeth. What is it that hole that sings when other ages are silent? A dead boxer, Il Papi Mori, and you not least of all, you fiend with a goat's head. You keep this place clean from your laughter. What were then the standards of ringside physicians when his tooth broke off at the gum? One man is dead. Run-ins with street fighters that shows out how soft we are. Naked onto the balcony to wee in the street before the closed barrels of El Salvador execute you. Time is the traitor. Look no further than that. Number 3. Mariainen, dear friend. Marikainen Imka, dwarfing shins. Dear Julio, dear Andrew Brakes, with his bus hammer smashing grannies in Ellesmere Port. Dear Patrick Coyle and his iron box, oiled in Ronseal hard like teak. We are ready to fuck the leg on the front foot with a rattan ratuna, our hippo act, our cut, our air, our downward slice, no rye, no cynical presumptuousness, just sumptuousness, and warfare for the thigh, tooth nerves deadened less than the thigh wallop. The chasm opens out beneath balls, and a drop of pegwoe, the riveting pain that begins in thigh and finishes in the flapping of the dummy switch job button, and fine trees and twinks Van der Westhuizen outside of Palookas in Manassas playing stance, and there the 13-year-old boy from Dutch Suriname, reveling his hip to junk the thigh of this lush. How the watching laugh and secretly enjoy the numb shock on that sallow felon's face. The pain will last 4 or 5 days and be unbearably worse in the morning. What we can say with confidence, there is no beating like a boxing beating. Number 4. I have his haircut here in my possession, wrapped in a towel, coveted by an army of monkeys who groom themselves, pick their own hairs from the combs to replace those that will die out from Dempsey's flick. I have his whites, his wife's underpants, his undersized gloves, his mauler. I am a little bear in women's underpants. I am living in his mansion. I am his racism. I am so suspicious of the loud black people on the buses. So remember, he is mine, ours, not theirs. He belongs to those 27 years old, not to the dowdily aged 75-year-olds with pompous meddling memories and talks of his feats, his ferociousness. They misremember, their time has passed, their time-corrupt farmyard and gone for good, for Dempsey is contemporary. He is a hitter, impatient, a hard worker, money-orientated, intolerant, chauvinist, and vicious. Number 5. William Harrison Mauler, well christened on the shitty afternoon of spring 1895, a dandy pug, a world heavyweight titleistico, an aggressive style pog jammer, a Dragon Ball punching power, one of the most popular boxers in history, having first $1 million gates as though they were Apple turnovers. Oh, dusty carnavales, poor families eating cage and lettuce bitch. Oh, mixed ancestry Jericho, Irish Cherokee, both Mormon converts well lit up to tears at a baby boy who can baptize himself. I am jowed, I am proud. I am a Mormon and a Jack Mormon, a jailhouse rhoder. Sing better do the caged birds when tattooed poorly sick, and Jack, off at 16 like me, running, desperate for money. Dempsey would visit saloons and challenge for fights, saying, I can't sing and I can't dance, but I can lick any son of a bitch in the house. And if anyone accepted the challenge, woe betide the tide. Part 6. Move the long count.